Welcome to Pifer's podcast here on the Virginian Review Online. I am not Mark Pifer. As you can tell, today's a very special edition of Pifer's podcast as I get to turn the tables on you, Pife. You're the one usually asking the questions. Now I get to ask you the questions. Mark is the head coach of the Covington High School girls basketball team. You have done this for how many years now?
This is the 10th season.
10th season. I know it had been a while, but it's hard to believe it's been 10 years. Pifer usually gets to sit here and ask other people questions, so I'm going to have Mark introduce the teammates you have, your players today, and I'm going to ask a few questions, and we're going to talk about y'all's season so far.
Sure. To my left, far left, is junior Kayla Campbell, and to my right here is my only senior this year, Sundal Moats, two real valuable players in our program.
Now, this has got to be unusual. You spend a lot of time covering sports for Bath County, for Allegheny, for Covington High School. It's got to be a different perspective. You sit on the outside looking in for when you're doing sports editor. Now you look at it from the actual inside of it. What's that feel like?
It's interesting. Very lucky to live in an area where they let me do both. If you were in a larger market, if you go to cover a coach's games and you go to interview him after the game, he's probably looking at you saying, you're trying to get an edge somehow. Mm-hmm. But with the guys, especially Coach Keene at Allegheny and Coach Sifford at Bath, they know what I do, and they know that I'm a coach and then I'm a sports reporter, and I don't mix the two. But it is fun. It seems like I'm always in a gym or on a field, but that's what I like to do. So it's worked out well. Got to meet a lot of special people, coach a lot of special girls. I got kids playing in college now, which is a lot of fun, and and this year's group is a very good group to work with.
Of all the years I've watched, every year it seems like you've got a good group of kids that you get to work with, and then they go off and go to college, and then you get some more good kids coming in. You've been very lucky, haven't you?
Absolutely. We got, we stepped in, Tara Brewster and I stepped in at the same time. We've been together now for 10 years, and I tell the kids we're like an old married couple. We argue a lot. We don't agree on some stuff, but we give different perspectives, and it is all about the kids, and I think we try to stress to have fun. It's not all about winning and losing. I told the kids the other day we worked practically a whole day building a float for the Covington Christmas parade, and I told them that's the kind of stuff that they're going to remember. They're not going to remember beating Craig County when they were a junior or whatever. They're going to remember riding in the Christmas float. Mm-hmm. So we try to do some stuff off the court, and most of all, we try to have a little fun.
And they'll remember the coach dressing up as the Cougar.
Yeah.
I remember that too because you scared me.
Yeah.
What's y'all's record this season? Tell me about some highlights from the season so far. Y'all are still in the middle of the season.
Right.
Where are you at in the season? Midway?
Yeah, about midway. We're 2-7, which doesn't sound real good, and it's not real good. But the thing about what we try to do is we try to build a schedule in December that is very challenging. We play Rockbridge, which is a AAA school. We play Allegheny, which is a AAA school. We play Glenver, which is a AA school. We don't play teams that we know we can get a W. We play tough teams to try to get us ready for January. 2 or 3 times in December we had leads that got away in the second half, but we're growing up a little bit, and I think that the last time we were out, we played Allegheny in the consolation game of our tournament, and down 14 in the first half, we turn around and get a win against Allegheny, and that's special. To beat them is special because it's a program that we look up to. It's a program that we get along with. We work out together. So everybody knows everybody in that situation. So it's always fun to get that win. So I think things are looking up. We started this week with district play, and I'm excited about January and hopefully deep into February.
Now, you talked about having a learning experience. You've got one senior,
Right.
and that's Sindel.
Right.
So let's talk to you for a minute. You are the only senior on the team. What does that feel like for you? I mean, that must make you feel like you are kind of like a mother hen, the leader, the one who needs to keep all the other ones in line. Does that sort about sums it up?
Yeah, it puts a little bit of pressure on you, but if you got the people you got on your team and they all love you the same, then it doesn't really make a difference.
How many years have you played this throughout your whole high school career?
Yes.
Some of your memories. What is your biggest memory? You will finish up February, I think, sometime in February when your last game comes around. When you look back, when you go to college, later on down the line, when you go off, have kids, that type of thing, what are you going to remember about your time on the CHS girls basketball team?
Well, when we went to Tennessee and that accident happened, what my favorite thing and memory was is how close and how connected we were as a family when everything went down, how all of us were always sticking together.
Now, saying that as you've got month and a half through the rest of the season, what are your goals from here on out? As you get ready to wrap up your season and as you hope to lead this team on, what is your goals that will lead you to have some success throughout the rest of your career?
I think one of our biggest goals is to win districts and try to go as far as the girls did before, maybe to states, hopefully.
I don't see why not. Now, Kayla. Kayla and I go way back. She used to hang out at the fire department when she was very, very tiny. Makes me feel kind of old now that she's a junior. Now, you've been in this freshman, sophomore, and now junior year. You're the leading scorer. You're averaging 18 points a game, roughly. How does that make you feel?
I mean, as long as you just play, you can't. Brewster actually once told me that you just can't pick your games where you can play 15 points a game and then go back to 7 and then up to 25. You just have to play constantly. And it's a good feeling to know that you can be a leader to your team, even if you're the younger one or the oldest one.
Basically, you play 1 point at a time,
Yes.
and you don't worry about how many you're going to rack until the end, until you see it on coach's sports page the next day. Now, as a freshman, you got to play with some standouts, Simone and Letitia. What was that like playing with those two?
Intimidating. Very intimidating. Like, they are such good players, and to know it's like a role model to me. From freshman year, I honestly told Pifer, I remember tryouts, I said, I do not want to be on varsity. I was so scared. He was like, there's not a chance. You're coming. So it was a good role model. It's a good motivation for me to know that, I can play with them and learn more stuff each and every time I play with them. It was just a good honor to play with them.
Okay. You went from freshman, sophomore, you played with those intimidating players, and now you're a junior. You're a leader. What does that make you feel like when you're out on the court? You've got the one senior, you're a leader on the team. What does that make? I asked her about the leadership where she saw it from her end. What does that make you feel like knowing that these younger players that are on the team with you, they're looking up to you too? What does that make you feel like?
Makes me feel like a positive role model. Like, there's plenty of games that I have my doubts and I put myself down and I get frustrated. I realize I can't do that because I have these people looking up to me. When I'm down, they're down, and I just throw the whole game off. And I have to keep my head up no matter how hard it can get. If we're down from 30 points or we're up by 10, no matter what, I have to keep my head up for them.
That's some good thinking. Tell us about the relationship between the members. Just the members. I'll get to the coaches here in a minute. With the relationship y'all have, Coach was talking about y'all built a float.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, y'all went to Tennessee. Those are some tremendous. It doesn't seem like building a float's that big a deal, but later on, like he said, you will remember that. Talk about the relationship that the players on the team have with you and Sindel and some of the leaders you have, some of the younger ones? What kind of relationship dynamic is there on yours team?
Well, most of the girls on the team I played for years, from B League to little tiny England. I just played all the time with them. So knowing that you can still play with them in a big league, we have that stronger connection every time we play on the court. It just gets stronger and stronger.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to you for just a second. Talking about the relationship with the team, tell me about your coaches. What kind of relationship? Because this man over here, I've gotten to work with him for years and years. He doesn't like taking credit. From what I remember about Tara, she's the exact same way. Tell me about what it's like to have those two as your leaders and your coaches. And he's not going to bench. He will not bench you. I promise. I'll make sure he doesn't bench you if it's something bad.
Well, I used to play for Allegheny when I was younger, and when I transferred to Covington and I got to experience it with coaches like them, it made me realize that, hey, it's not about just coaching. We actually care about you in general. They make us feel like we're a part of their family, just like we're part of our own families. We're always connected. And he might hate us 1 minute at practice, but at the end of the day, he's going to love us. Mm-hmm. So that's the best thing I could ever think for a coach. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful to have him for 4 years.
Now, don't want to give him too big a head, because y'all will go, and I've still got to work with him. But I'm going to ask you the same thing. Tell me about what you think as far as the coaching that you have. Like I say, you've got two awesome coaches. Tell me about what your feelings as far as the leadership they've shown to you.
They've taught me so much, like from just having personal experience with them to actually being on the team with them. They taught me so much. I remember freshman year on varsity, Pifer straight told me we're going to have a love-hate relationship. You might hate me, you might love me, I might hate you, and I might love you. But either way, at the end, we still love each other as a family. But they taught me so much, and I know everyone else loves them as much as I do.
Wonderful. Wow, you didn't know that, did you? Didn't know it was going to become one of those moments. Sindel, you're graduating in May. What's in store for you once you leave the halls of Covington High School? What are you looking at?
I hope to attend a 4-year college and do psychology and be able to help people just like I've been helped my whole life.
Very good. Now, you're only a junior, but it's not going to be far away before you're going to be in that same position. What are you looking at as your future after you leave Covington High School?
Hopefully play college ball. I'm hoping. I am. It just depends how I go. It really does.
Well, every time I see you, I feel a little older. But, Mark, before we close out today, good luck. Okay, Mark, before we close out, let me ask you, what is your opinion about the kids? I asked them about you. I think I know, knowing you as long as I have, I think I know. But what each year's got to be rough. You know, you get close to these kids. They go and they graduate, and you're like a proud papa. You get to watch them when they go to college and do this type of thing. Tell me about some of those feelings.
Shoot, it's awesome. You know, as a sports reporter, you get to know kids, but you don't really get to know kids until you're in the battle with them. And being in practice every day and being in the locker room every day and crying with them and laughing with them, it is special. It's kind of funny. Kayla said we have a love-hate relationship. You know, I think as coaches, we need to push as much as we can during practice, but we have a rule that after practice is over, then it's over. And, you know, as hard as I am on one of them in practice, you know, I hope that they remember after practice that was something that was a coach player moment. And, you know, we've stressed that. I'm hard on them. Believe me, I'm hard on them in practice and in a game. And, you know, if somebody comes and watches us play and sees me acting all crazy over there and getting on one of them, you know, I hope they realize that the relationship is one of a coach and a player, and off the court, it's you know, it's a friendship.
Mm-hmm. Well, as long as I've known you, and I've never played for you, and I know how hard you are on me. So I can only guess how you are on the sports field. We want to thank you, Sindel. Want to thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Coach Pifer,
Absolutely.
for
Appreciate
being
you
here.
being
You know, you might have created a monster here.
Hey, I like asking a lot better than answering.
If the ratings go way up, we might have to expand this. I don't know. Thank you all for being with us today on Pifer's podcast. We will be back with you next time with another local sports team, local sports exclusive, and you can find this only on thevirginianreview.com.